Good day, all. Today I'm going to teach you the poem from your Flamingo textbook, A Thing of Beauty. It's written by John Keats. The speciality of John Keats is that he makes his poems seem so real that you feel like enjoying the nature around you. The title, A Thing of Beauty, itself tells so many things. A thing of beauty is joy forever, is how you complete the sentence. What is a thing of beauty? A beauty which can never vanish, which can never get destroyed, which can never get diminished. It makes a permanent place in our mind. For example, the best thing of beauty I can say is a baby's smile. The pictures which you can see in your albums where you smiled without knowing anything, the innocent smile, it can never ever get destroyed, it can never get vanished. Best thing is a baby's smile, a beautiful smile. Yes, something which will always remain in our memories. Though the world has so many sufferings around us, the noble people are very few nowadays. But when you find the beauty of nature around you, you forget, you feel it's a bliss. Bliss means blessing. So in this poem, the poet tries to explain the things which causes happiness, the things which gives you bliss, blessings. I will read each and every line and I'll explain to you as usual. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Forever, out here means everlasting, which does not have any end. Loveliness, that is the beauty he is trying to tell us. Pass into nothingness, it means disappearing. Yes? And bower means a shady enclosure. You can take even a tree. So over here in the first two lines he says that two things of beauty mentioned above are the quiet bower to rest peacefully and a blissful sleep full of pleasant dreams. So when you have a blessing of good sleep, your life is blessed. When do you have a blissful sleep? When you do not have any tensions in your life, when you do not have any problems in your life, you sleep happily, you do not have any bad dreams, you will not have any dreams actually when you have a blissful sleep. And yes, if you have, you get all the good things in your dream, all the achievements you want to achieve in your dream. So he says that the two things out here right now for every human needed is a blissful sleep and pleasant dreams. That's the only thing which that's the only thing we actually require. So he says that the joy that a beautiful thing provides, it's very everlasting. Anything which provides happiness with beauty is always forever. And he says that it leaves a print in our minds. For example, you go out, like I said, a baby smile. When you see a baby smiling, the whole day that smile lingers in your mind. And you feel happy whenever you think about it, you get a smile on your face. So he says that those charm, those beauty can never fade away. It is not something you will forget. Whenever you are sad or suddenly you see some pic of a baby, you remember the smile of that baby which you have already seen. So certain things are there in life which can never have expiry date. That is the beauty of such things around you. Then he says that the beautiful thing provides us eternal joy. Eternal means which is everlasting, which is forever. Yes, so whenever we think about it, we get a joyful experience. For example, when you are with your friends and you are happy about it, those things you always remember. Whenever you see the pic of it, you'll always remember what all you did on that particular day, and that remains a memory for your life. He says that even imagination, being in imagination also gives us bliss. Yes, sometimes we sit in a place where there is no one. For example, in this quarantine times, we sit and we imagine as if we are going out to a mall, we are having fun with our friends, we are eating, we are drinking, even such things also. So even such things also give us happiness, gives us bliss, right? And also he says that it keeps an everlasting impression on our minds, which keeps us smiling all through. So whenever we think about something beautiful around us, it gives us a joyful experience. He also says that the bower provides us with blissful sleep of sweet dreams. When you have a protective shade on your head, when you are inside your house, you are protected, you are happy, you are not on the roads like many poor people. So you are blessed there itself. So when you have a house, you sleep peacefully. When you have your parents beside you, you sleep peacefully, that you have someone to take care of you. So when you have a family, you are already blessed. Yes, many of you don't realize that. You always think about something outside which you are not getting it. Yes, so over here he says, when you have a bower, a shady place where you are protected, you're already blessed, and that blessing also gives you happiness. So the next lines in the second stanza, he says, therefore on every morrow are we breathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over darkened ways made for our searching. So over here, morrow means morning. Yes, and wreathing means have you seen wreath, the flowers which they place when someone dies, a round kind of a flower bouquet? Yes, and flowery, full of flowers. Wreathing means a round one, and flowery means full of flowers. And band, strip used to bind, that is to tie together. Yes, in spite of so many despair. Despair means, despondence means despair. Despair means sadness. Okay, inhuman. What do you mean by inhuman? It is merciless, being without mercy. Dearth means lack of, it is not there. Gloomy, gloomy means dark, dull. Dismal, over darkened, that means too dark. When do you find it dark? He doesn't mean switching off the light or without light. He says when you are too much disappointed, when you are too much of sadness is within you, you feel dark. Whatever bright things are around you, you don't find it. You are more on to your disappointments. So over here he says that the things of beauty that nature provides us, like beautiful flowers or good memories, help us to live our life. They motivate us to lead our life despite all the pain and sufferings. So the example over here which I can give you is, every sunset has got a sunrise. Yes or no? So whenever you see the sunset, you cannot think that, oh no, the world is going to be dark now. No, the world is going to shine even brighter the next day. Whenever there is darkness, you have something bright in your life. Whenever you cry, you are happy double the way. The only thing is that you are not realizing it. So he says that everything around us gives us so much of happiness, so much of bliss, but we are the ones who are only looking at the disappointments, towards the gloominess. He says the flowers which we bind it, which we tie it together to adorn our head. Ladies adorn their heads, adorn the photographs of your loved ones when they are dead, or to the god if you place. Yes, the same flower is used even if someone is dead, in the form of a wreath. Yes, so the flower knows where to be and how to be, but still it's in the same blooming way. Have you ever seen a flower crying at the feet of a dead body? No, it is the same shining thing even at the feet of the dead ones. So he says that be like that. Whether you are sad, whether you have a sad thing in your life, whether you are the happiest one, be always in the same manner, because anything which comes by has to go, and anything which has to go has to be created again. So he says that enjoy the nature around you instead of feeling bad and depressed. Okay, and he says that the flowery band is helpful for us to live our life on earth. You need flowers, that gives you happiness, and the same flowers you need when you have to leave the earth. That's what he says. Be a flower, that is, be useful in all the ways. Yes, and otherwise life will seem only So he says that life will only feel full of sufferings and sadness if you do not understand the value of life. He says, be a flower which can be used even for good things in life, a flower which can be used in the time of death also. So you always enjoy the nature around you and be blissful, be blessed always. And he says that there are times where due to the pain and sufferings we feel hopeless, but every hopeless has got hope in it, right? It's the positive nature, it's the positive thing you try to take out from life. So this third stanza in the poem goes like this: yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits, such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon, for simple sheep and such are daffodils, with the green world they live in, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make, gains the hot season the mid-forest break, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. So over here he says, let me tell you the hard words in the poem. Some shape of beauty moves away the pall. Pall means something covered with darkness, okay, something covered with darkness, a coat of darkness, a cloak of darkness, you can say. Spirits means souls, yeah, and sprouting means the one which is trying to grow. Boon means again blessing. I think you all know what is a daffodil. It's an yellow flower. It belongs to the lily family, okay. And rills means the streams. And covert means it's just like above a sheltered place, okay. And break are ferns. So over here he says the scented flowers, the blossom flowers, everything actually gives us the hope of happiness. When you are gloomy, it refers to all the negative thoughts that obstruct your way. It obstructs your happiness. So he says that such beauty, when you see around in nature, even sadness. For example, today when I was sitting on the terrace, bored of this quarantine, when I saw a flock of parrots flying by, I suddenly felt so happy about it. You know, I had blissful experience when I saw those parrots flying up above. So when we start enjoying the nature, we will not be worried about what is there and what is not there in our life. We can just go through all the things around us in the nature and learn so many things. Yes, he says that beauty in any form, it can be a bird, it can be a baby smile, it can be a flower, it will only give you happiness. Yes, and try to take the joy from that and remove all your negative thoughts. So in this poem he has used, in this stanza he has used metaphor, okay. He has used metaphor. Some shape of beauty moves away the pall. Yes, any shape he's telling, he's taking the non-living thing and the living thing together to merge it to tell us what is bliss and joy. So he's using metaphor over here. And dark spirits, as I've already told you, the negative thoughts are the dark spirits, okay. So he's using different kinds of examples for beauty, like he said the sun, the moon, trees. Even if they are old, they are so beautiful. Those stretched branches gives you happiness, it gives you shade. Yes, and then the young and old trees, it shows you the difference. See, the sprouting young trees becomes the old trees and it gives you beauty. Young sprouting plants gives you the flowers, the beauty of the tenderness, yes, the baby to say. The old trees, the old people at home, our grandmothers, our grandfathers who tell us those such beautiful stories which our parents also don't do. Yes, and then the green world, he refers to the nature and the greenery. When you start loving these things around you, you tend to love nature. Then clear rills, he says the hidden shelter, like as I've already told you, when you have a protected shelter, you're already blessed. Feel happy for it. Think about those people who are on the roads. Yes, even they are very happy than us, to say, because we are very selfish, we are never happy. And then the poet talks about the natural beauty, about the forest, about the growth of blooming flowers. Musk rose are those scented flowers. Now he is also talking about the mid forest breaks, that is the undergrowth, the rich of musk rose. Musk rose are those roses, the small roses which you find down. You might have seen in many sceneries also, so many small flowers which look so beautiful underground, like underground in the sense, I mean near the big trees. Yes, even they give you happiness. You need not be a big tree to give happiness. You can be even a small musk rose which is scented and which gives you bliss around you. Yes, so over here he says that sprinkling, he has used a word rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. Sprinkling is to spread. It spreads happiness. It gives you a beautiful mode of happiness, mode of joy, which keeps you smiling all through your day. So the last stanza, it goes like this, the fourth one. And such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead, all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens brink. So what he says, now what does he mean by mighty dead? We have imagined for the mighty dead. Mighty dead are those soldiers, warriors, those freedom fighters who have fought for us to give us freedom. Freedom is happiness. But are we happy? No. Because we keep on getting binded in some stupid thing and we feel that we are into some bondage. No, you are free actually. You are binding your brain into something which makes you sad. So we imagine their might, their strength, how they fought, and we feel glorified. We try to speak gaga about them. What do you mean by gaga? Singing praises about them. And when you speak praises about them, you are happy. For example, if you see your history teacher, I don't know how many of you really sit and listen to your history classes, but if you see your history teachers, when they teach the history, they feel it happy. They show the bliss on their face. They are blessed to talk about those warriors who fought for us. Hereafter, please observe that and observe your classes also, where history gives you happiness, that braveness. Can you go and just stand in front of a British man and say, shoot me? No. Yes, so someone has done that for us. So you are proud of that braveness. So when you're happy for that bravery, that shows on your face that you are alive today, sitting at home and eating whatever you feel like. Yes, he says lovely tales. We hear lovely tales of so many mythological things or so many warriors around us, and all that we hear and read gives us happiness. You feel that you are going through that. When you read a storybook, you feel yourself to be that particular character and you read and you feel happy about it. You go and tell everyone about it. Why? Because you enjoy little things of life. That's what he says. A thing of beauty can be of any shape which can give you happiness. So over here also he's telling lovely tales about the warriors or about anyone. It is compared to the metaphor. The figure of speech used over here is metaphor again. A glorious, what do you call the grandeur? Grandeur means magnificent, glorious things which happen. Their glorious death also gives us a bliss. We are not happy that they are dead. We are happy that they died for us to be happy over here. The poet actually relates the death to the spiritual beauty, the happiness which gives your spirits, gives your soul within you happiness, that someone died for us, someone is crying for us, someone is struggling for us. Those things actually gives us happiness in a way, to think that there is someone for us to do all these things. Yes, he also says that such grand deaths are immortal. Immortal means that death does not have a death, because that is called bravery. Yes, and over here the phrase which he says immortal drink, it means a nectar. It's like a honey. Yes, they have died for us. So that's a bliss. You are taking that content. For example, Jesus' death is considered to be a blessing for us because he died for our sins, they say, right? So of that sort, over here John Keats says that these things give us bliss, and the tales of all these endless things actually gives us only happiness. So thing of beauty is a joy forever. Thank you. Have a great day.